Caribou Weather Dude YouTube. Here we are once again, everybody. Tuesday morning. It is November the 12th. The 12th of November, 2024. Brand new storm is coming now towards the coast. Like I said, it was gonna. She's coming in right there hard. Lots of wind and rain there today for your boys down there in the coast. And, she'll come in land there later this afternoon, or later today, maybe tonight, actually. I should say she'll come into land there, yeah. And give snow to the interior. Okay, this is a bad news show. Let's friggin' go. There it is. This is bad news. My God.
Falling out right now.
Anything could happen. Get on! Wow. I'll watch the video later. They try mopping this. Well, I got no sponsor for today's episode. Today's episode sponsor is me. Check out my new little documentary I made there, Slippery Slope to Unspeakable Disasters. It's more like a lecture, I guess. It's educational. There you go. And people used to be mad at me for saying things. I want to remind you today that I was the first person who hated this creep right here. See this creep? I hated him before anyone else, and people used to be like, he's good for space. Okay, look at all the shocking things found in your food. Water, sugars, glucose, fructose, sucrose, maltose, starch, fiber, amino acid. Oh my God, shocking. Histidine, leucine, phenylalanine, arginine, valine, alanine, serine, glycine, threonine, isoleucine, proline, tryptophan, cysteine, tyrosine, methionine, fatty acids, palmitic acid. Oh, it goes on. Omega-6. Oh, it's probably not so bad. Omega-3. That sounds pretty good, actually. Linoleic acid. Some of those acids actually are pretty good for you. I think we need some of those acids in our diet there. Thiamine, that's pretty good, actually. Well, what the fuck is this thing? That, my friends, is the chemical composition of a banana. So you see, your bias is formed by your ignorance. And there's this reaction these days to, oh no, it's a large word, it must be bad. Then there's these appalling and disgusting people from Fraser Valley, Maple Mega family. We're the media now, says these arrogant, entitled assholes. Maple Mega movement of Fraser Valley. So I want to tell you this, okay? I don't want to spend time reading this crap because it's crap. High quality water, absolutely no tap water, because tap water is bad, the mega assholes. Okay, I want to tell you something. If you are going around Canada trying to make a movement called Make America Great Again, you should be hung for treason. This is not America. You do not make America great again here. Let go. That's not your country. That's not your politics. Knock it off. Okay, what's going on in Canada today? So crazy winds going up there in the far north there, northern Quebec, but that's been going on for several weeks now. It's like finally the Dempster Highway has no warnings or watches, no blowing snow advisories, no blizzard. That's like, I think that's the first time in 2 weeks over there in Newfoundland. 60, 80 millimeters of rain. Who cares? Good for you. You guys are used to it. Now let's talk about BC. This includes not Haida Gwaii, but down the coast, mid-coast, areas west of Bella Coola, Bella, places like that. 90 kilometers to 110 gusts. A vigorous Pacific funnel system, it says. Vigorous. I used that word yesterday, did I not? Are they copying me? Maybe. I don't know. That'd be cool. Blustery conditions there. 90 to 110 will ease by Wednesday morning. That goes for the same down Vancouver Island coast, maybe 80 to 100 kilometers an hour. So slight difference, but basically wind switching southerly, westerly to 40K, 60, and then easing more on Wednesday morning. If you go over towards the coast, that continues there as well. 90 to 100 kilometer an hour gusts. You get the picture. That's this whole big red area, Sunshine Coast included. Southern Gulf Islands included. We got a rainfall warning for Vancouver, 50 to 90 millimeters of rain. Water pooling on roads. Travel may become difficult in areas, so we do have the risk that maybe flights will be affected. We have the possibility the ferries being shut down. We have the possibility that washouts and rock falls and landslides and things like that could delay or interrupt your travel plans. Or if you are going up over 99 highway, maybe you're going to run into a lot of snow and things like that.
Vigorous reflection final system of over the coast tonight on the west side.
Sorry, that's not funny. On Wednesday, the heavy rain will change to moderate showers, okay? And then total amounts of 50-90 can be expected. Locally, higher amounts possible over the North Shore Mountains. That's more or less sum total of what we're talking about today. Oh, down here, a little wind warning. Yeah, okay, so that's all we got so far. Could we see some snowfall warning, special weather statements, and things like that into the interior? I suspect so, but so far we do not have any. And knowing Environment Canada, they'll put something out 10 minutes after I upload this forecast. That's how she often goes. So make sure you check Environment Canada as often as you can. No weather summaries in Canada. No one broke any records of any kind yesterday.
Hey everybody, let's do a tutorial side.
This is my friend Mark Ingles' website. If you might know him from Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers, you might know him from Coastal Weather Group. He runs there on Facebook there. Weak tornado reported on the Oregon coast. And we have a report was sent by Train Storm Spotter in the area. Spotter reported the tornado was short-lived, lasting 1 minute. This basically, and you see it came off the oceans, is very, very much in the same spirit of the tornado we had last week here in BC. These storms coming off the water, coming into land, coming in hard enough. Was the phone? Please stop fucking digging for 5 seconds! Okay, sorry. And radar showed Rockaway Beach there, showing a strong storm. I mean, like, literally, the thing hasn't fucking stopped dinging since I hit record. I can't handle it some days. I'm not getting paid enough for all the attention people want from me. Okay, weather radar indicator around this time. Strong storm cell is moving on shore. Rockaway Beach as it made landfall. Significant rotation was observed at 4,500 feet. The rotation quickly weakened and the cell moved inland. The Weather Service has not conducted a damage survey, which is required for the strength of the storm to be officially determined. Tornado strength is based on trained meteorologists observing damage caused by the storm and referencing information from engineers and show expected winds and speed for said damage. The current information is approximate and preliminary. I'll stop reading like that. So, based on storm reports to the area, probably EF0, maybe a low EF1. Much, like we've been seeing, how we sometimes get these kind of same tornado things. And I think this is possible in BC today. For sure, up on Sunshine Coast and up the west coast of Vancouver Island, things like that. These short-lived spin-ups, spout tornadoes, I like to call them, gustnadoes and water spouts and things like that. Rockaway Community and Tillamook Coast. So this is where the tornado happened there. Harbor Street, metal goal breaker, and the soccer goal traveled a really long way. Crazy, she says. And so we got trees down. Homes look fine, so that's good. Trees toppled over there. Probably EF0. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Soccer posts that's interesting. Soccer posts were thrown quite a ways. So some pretty neat pictures here. Nothing too crazy. But if it hits you, you wouldn't like it. Okay, more talking about BC weather now. Let's get on with it. Checking out our surface analysis today. Going from east to west. We got stationary front there between Newfoundland and the mainland. Got a cold front there coming off the east coast. We got high pressure sitting in Ontario is associated with that cold front. There are clear skies there. Looks like a bit of a warm sector down south there. And then we got, let's get it off topo. Now we're on terrain. That should help you a little bit better. So you can see the terrain, right? Okay. A little bit of a low pressure there. Up and heading towards Nunavut from our last storm. Already rocketing off. That will hit the northern tip of Quebec and move off towards Greenland over the next couple of days pretty quickly. And here's our storm out here. You can see the big cold front, but there's a nice warm parcel in front of it. That should give us some nice winds when it comes in. And we expect that warm parcel will give us a temporary warming before we see our temperatures dip back down. The mountain weather forecast today is saying a vigorous, so they're using the word vigorous too.
Yes, I'm in with these people. I use their language.
A vigorous system is coming in, it says here. I gotta move my head. We'll approach BC coast today and move interior regions on Wednesday. Periods of moderate to strong precipitation, strong ridgetop winds are expected. Highest precip totals will be on the southwest facing slopes and the south coast ranges. Today, the coast will see freezing levels near 1,200 meters, moderate to strong westerly ridgetop winds. The BC interior will see snow and flurries. They become more scattered in the afternoon, so we got a little bit of a break before the approaching Pacific system comes, so things will get bad again tomorrow. Moderate southwesterly ridgetops looking pretty good. And this afternoon there, And maybe tonight, BC coast, the system will approach, bringing heavy precipitation, strong southwesterly winds to the ridge tops. High precipitation, 30 to 50 mils can be expected along the southwest-facing slopes of the Vancouver Island area, south coast, sea to sky ranges. Freezing levels tonight will rise as the warm front moves across the south coast. So we got that pushing of warm. And that reminds me, I do want to answer someone's question about how to find freezing levels. We'll look at a map here in a second, and in a minute we'll talk about that. And in the BC interior, light to moderate precipitation, strong southerly ridgetop winds. They'll spread across the interior ranges tonight come before the incoming system. Freezing levels will slightly lower to 1,000 meters overnight. So I'm not surprised about that. It's been freezing levels often here in Wells, and we are at about 1,200 meters here. Going to be bumpy flights soon coming out of YVR. Low ceilings and visibilities are being forecast to all heights above sea level, unless noted. Moderate mechanical turbulence in the Fraser Canyon, so going to be a little bit bumpy there, I should say. Unstable onshore flow continues to bring showers to the route with Pacific Frontal System on the way for the evening. You'll be flying straight into that. So a bunch of flight precautions you want to take into consideration if you're flying, but probably you're just going to be a passenger. We do have in the east side of BC, and that kind of does actually loop up through, the Prince George region and out towards the coast. We got this sort of trough sitting here with the broken layers of clouds, frequent towering cumulus. As part of that, we do see some cumulus here. We've had some snowfall this morning, snowed particularly hard, and was windy sort of snow. It was like a blowing, blasting snow, not quite like what you would normally expect here. Then you have intermittent clouds that are broken on the coast with altocumulus and things like that. We're going to make things bumpy for the pilots, and we'll just watch how this plays out quickly. My internet is being very slow lately, and I don't get it, and it's very upsetting. Okay, so we have a bit of an occlusion here, cold front and the warm front sector in front of it, so that should temporarily bring temperatures up there in the coast, raise your freezing levels on the mountains a little bit higher. And then comes later in the afternoon, by the end, that's when we get strong blasting winds. So that looks like 40, 50 knots on some of those. Some big time winds there coming to the coast. Towering cumulus still frequently seen. So we do have, although it doesn't say anywhere on here, anytime you got lots of scattered cumulus, towering cumulus, occasionally towering cumulus, there's a chance that could see a lightning strike out there in the province today. Could see maybe one of these get organized. I don't think the chance is high, but it's out there. It's possible. And then looking at turbulence today, freezing levels all over. So pilots are coming into freezing characteristics at height, and then you can see some of the turbulence, especially over in the prairie side right now. I think BC had a little bit of a break after yesterday's very turbulent day, but as the next system approaches, you can see how those icing levels and the turbulence there becomes very, very difficult there. I am just the damn worst for hitting record and starting to talk and not realizing that I had the wrong screen recording. So there's our high pressure really dominating Ontario right now. So I just recorded 10 minutes of myself talking with my face over top of the map. So you couldn't see half the map because my face was there. Well, good job, Joey. Here's our storm coming in Tuesday. Big old strong storm in front of it, bringing some nice warm weather ahead temporarily. And that's going to blast into the coast. That's going to occupy BC a fair bit. Here's our Nunavut low slamming into the getting stronger, moving up there now. Down here in the States, we have hurricane formation likely because you see an area of low here that will likely try to form itself into a hurricane. So that's the next story we're watching for there. I don't know what it'll be named. QRS, so it'll probably be named something S, whatever the S is. Hurricane Steve. I don't fucking care what it's called. It's a hurricane, and I'm not going to be having to experience it here. Look at that high pressure really owning half the continent. Real nice, but not for us in BC. Wednesday morning, and we just had heavy snow in the Duffy. We got a little bit of rain in the interior, some moments of freezing rain. We got heavy precip up the Rocky Mountains on Wednesday morning, heavy precip up the Coast Mountains, blasting with rain, nonstop rain in the piece. There'll be a strong band, I think, later in the day, start to really develop through Mackenzie into the piece. So you can start to see that now showing up there. So yeah, stop dinging me, phone! You can see that band showing up. You can see the Rocky Mountains still taking a little bit of that. See piece, heavier bands of snow. Yukon, looking at some snow for you guys. So that's nice snow for the Yukon. And there's our guy playing out post-frontally. So after the initial slamming, then it's just kind of stop dinging me, phone! Fucking 6,000 times in an hour. And here's low pressure now coming into Alberta side. That's going to bring some snow into Saskatchewan on Thursday, some snow into Fort McMurray, up across into Fort Nelson, up into the north. I'm sure you can take as much of that snow as you can get into the Northwest Territories. That's the only way their fire problem that they've been having every year ends. So Thursday, clearing, but not a great day in BC. And this is that low I was talking about the other day. It looks a little more vigorous than it did yesterday on the models. And I was saying, it seems to me that this will do more than what it said. And this is already more than what it said. And what's GFS think? We just will cross-reference here. Does GFS agree? GFS, still pretty conservative. Still pretty conservative in a slightly different location. So GFS has it a little more further south, a little further north for the ECMWF. So one of these two models is going to get it right, or both will in some regard. Maybe it'll meet them in the middle. And then lingering flurries for us. Already, we're seeing that our weather is coming from Alaska more and more. It's coming from the north. The high pressure is really blocking. We're not getting that nice warmth in that we have. And here comes our next storm. It's going to be a weekend event. We're back into weekend storms here in BC. This is suspiciously atmospheric river-like. It will be by the time it starts to really organize itself. There you go. So I'm concerned as long as that fire hose, though, keeps moving, as long as the fire hose can keep moving this weekend and spread all that, share all that rain around, share all that moisture around. That's what we really want to see. But it looks like some really heavy precip coming into the coast mountains at that time. And we'll be watching. So this is the first of two things we'll be watching for our next forecast period here when you come back and see me again. What things will we be talking about again? We'll be talking about this weekend and what happens when after. This is very atmospheric river-like, so we're going to be watching this to make sure over the next couple of days that we don't have a really impacting event this weekend. It is possible. We've had a few this year already. The North Pacific has been extremely angry. It's been consistent this year. That's very atmospheric river-like. That is really long, really tailing out, so and heading right across the Pacific, right? So we'll see. We'll see. As long as that keeps moving, though, and it has been, and that's what we want. The best thing for all our drought situations and everything is for when these fire hoses happen, they just keep moving down the coast and going just sharing with everybody all the good stuff so that this weekend everybody gets a little bit of moisture, everybody gets a little bit of help, everybody gets a little bit of extra security that fire season will be met with. Lots of precip this year, but you can see our flow is coming from the interior of Alaska. See right around this low one in. Well, what does that mean for us next week? Now we're going to switch off of precipitation now, and we're going to have a look at temperature real quick here to end the day, because this is the second question. So do we get an atmospheric river this weekend? Now we know, we got a pretty good idea what we're dealing with for a storm tomorrow, for tonight and tomorrow. Same old in BC. We've been through a lot of these. So 12, 18, 20 below near Puncie and the Chilcotin. That's not shocking at midnight. I mean, I've seen this often in November. If you go to the high mountains in Alberta, 18s, yeah, sure. Go to the far north near Fort Nelson, 16s. Well, we already know that. We can already see how now where this low sitting, it's not being so volatile for delivering cold. However, this low is. Right, so this guy is dragging stuff down from the north, and so at some point, I think that the numbers are conservative right now, but you see how this air mass is dropping down in the United States, like here in Idaho, we got some minus 20 air going on, that's coming down. Well, what's that going to do? We got the warm sector pulling on the front. That's going to make a stormy sector here. That's going to interact with Gulf moisture. Perhaps if we have this new hurricane here, this will amplify things. So we'll have an even more intense snowstorm, blizzard / tornado outbreak in the United States sometime mid next week, late next week, maybe. Far out to predict any specifics, but these are reliable and consistent setups that we've seen before. So we don't have very telling numbers yet on BC. How cold will it be in the interior? 7, 8, 9. Is that really a cold snap? Well, it's colder than it's been so far this year. Do I think it could possibly get much colder than that? Yeah, I do. I've seen often on modeling like this this far out where I start seeing the same thing right now that I'm seeing on this map. And there's been times in the past where I've been like, I think we're about to have an Arctic outbreak. And I start talking on Weather Watchers. I think we're about to have an Arctic outbreak. And sure enough, what happens in 7-8 days, what looked like -10 on the graph on those maps suddenly turns into -25 here in Wells. So I'm not going to pretend that summer lasts forever. I mean, it's clearly over. It's been snowing here in Wells. It's been snowing everywhere. It's beautiful. It's just all we're waiting for is some actual legit cold winter-like weather. And I think there's so that's the two things we're looking for this next week. Atmospheric river, is that a thing this weekend? How bad? We'll find out next forecast period. I think we'll get a couple days from now. We'll have really accurate detail, really accurate data. We'll really know. And the second thing is, how cold will it get? Please hit like, share, subscribe. Please support the channel. I need all the help I can get. And just supporting, subscribing, liking, and sharing, that is supporting me. Yes, it absolutely is, for sure. So thank you. But also, if you can become a channel member, make a donation, do something here to help me keep forecasting, because I need all the help I can get all the time. Everybody, thanks so much for so many of you who've helped build me up and helped make me who I am today. And I don't just mean financially, but socially and emotionally, and all the support and love that people give me. I try to be cold about it and try to turn it off and try not to get a big ego about it. And then every once in a while, I think to myself, man, people love me, and I feel good about that for a minute. I allow myself to feel good for a couple minutes about that kind of thing. And then I get back to, I'm just a human. This is what I do. This is what I'm good at. It's what I have to give. I believe in giving what I'm good at. I believe in sharing my knowledge and my information. And, that's why I live in poverty. Okay, bye now.